Greetings, travelers. Mark here. I have a quick announcement. There isn't going to be a new episode this week. I've been under the weather. Erica and I are both still trying to finish the book. Deadline is this weekend. We also have Fanboy Expo in Knoxville we're supposed to be at this week. So there was just no way we had time to get the episode slammed out this week. We will be back next week and keep up our regular schedule. So for this week, you got this announcement and you get a wonderful classic episode from our archives. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the other side. I'm author Mark Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
You might listen to this podcast and hear us say Eerie Adventure, but due to a 1937 copyright issue, our podcast is actually named Eerie Travels. So just insert that whenever you hear Eerie Adventure because, oops, that never happened.
Oh my goodness, we're here.
We're here. We did it.
It's crazy. I mean, I for a generation, it seems, I have been told that I need to do this on my own, that I'm the professional podcast guest of note on many a podcast and a guest host on several. So now they're all like, well, why don't you just host your own? Well, I'm putting my money where my mouth is here, and we're doing it. We're doing it.
No, it's about effing time, Mark. There, I said that for everybody who's listening, who's thinking the same thing. That it's about effing time.
All right. Well, let's hope it holds up, and let's hope we deliver on the promise that this is. So, without further ado, welcome to the inaugural episode of Eerie Adventures.
Woo!
Yeah. So I am your host, your ghost host, as it were. I'm Mark Muncy. I am the author of the Eerie, Florida book series and now Eerie Appalachia and future volumes in the works. And then my co-host is the amazing...
Oh, Erica Lance. I wasn't sure if you're going to say my name.
I was going to let you do it.
Throw petals. But I am Erica Lance. I am a horror author, and my stories don't have happy endings. But I am also the host of the Drinking with Authors podcast, which you're a co-host on, and an absolute fan. Number one fan. I'm not. That's not that creepy. Of Mark for years and years and years. So I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I am thrilled beyond words that we're actually doing this. So now, everybody knows me as the Eerie Florida guy. In fact, that's what I get addressed in my emails quite a bit. Hey, creepy Florida guy, would you, I saw this weird thing. I heard this weird thing. And, and I'm on a lot of cryptozoology podcasts and of course, the Robert the Doll documentary from Discovery Channel last year and all that. So that's kind of what we're known for. But with this podcast, we're going to hit that stuff, but we want to hit just fun stuff that just really stands out and is just cool historically, a little off kilter, even better. And then of course the paranormal, the cryptids, and all the high strangeness out there. We're going to be talking it all over the next, however many episodes we decide to do. This is just going to be fun. We're going to keep rolling with it. I think it's just going to be, and we've got lots of cool people lined up that are going to talk to us, and we'll have some interesting takes on things from these people. I can't wait for y'all to go on the ride with us.
I think it's funny because you have friends. Normally people say, I have friends in high places. You have friends in weird places.
Yes.
And so you say Eerie, Florida, because that's where you started. You have, I think, 4 books in Florida? 3, 4?
Yeah, 3. We did 3 now that are in print. There were more before, but are long gone. So
yeah,
and they shall remain buried.
They're not buried. I know where to find them. You guys can send us an email. But the thing is that you're branching out like sort of globally all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's not just Florida. So if people want to, they can give us stories from wherever.
Oh yes. And as the episode goes live, The website will be going live, and you can all head over to Erie Adventures, and we will be having all kinds of things there that are not on the episodes, like bonus material. Also, some extra nonsense will be up there. I'll be posting a blog up there intermittently
Wow.
about what the latest news and adventures are. Plus, we'll
And
have
you did
links.
say Erie Adventure, not Erie Adventures, like
Yeah, ErieAdventure.com.
Yeah, we don't want to get copyright infringement by whoever the crap sticks owns that shit, right?
Yeah, I know. What a heck. What a crazy thing. So ErieAdventure.com, not Erie Adventures, but and that's owned by a GoDaddy bot. So we'll have to do an episode on domain squatting at some point.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, I agree.
But ErieAdventure.com, and then you'll see the button there that should be there by this time saying, send us your stories, because we want to hear them. You can send us audio or text or email, whatever you want to do. Carrier pigeon, we'll get it. You can even send a raven from King's Landing. But we will eventually get it here. And
send all ravens to Erica if we're going to send them. I want the ravens. But also people are going to be able to upload pictures and crap and links so they can tell us all about their shit, right? Like what they've encountered themselves. And
exactly. And you may too be a guest on a future episode, because we will have guests come on to tell us their stories as well. Although, there are, like I said, there's dozens of other podcasts that do that. So we're going to just try to take it for a little different spin here. And I think with that, what, one of the things we need to do is, get into our first tale, right?
We do, but you know what? You forgot to probably announce the most important person who's part of this podcast.
Oh my gosh! Oh yes, the power behind the throne.
She is like the hand of the king, or little sister. I'm not sure the spider. She's probably more like the spider than anyone else.
Very much. Yeah, the master of whispers.
They are like the spider.
They whisper. They whisper to us and let us know when things are going well and when things aren't going well. Our wonderful producer. My youngest child, that would be Callista Muncie, the great Callie, is here. And,
yes. Callie! You can't see them, but they are haunting the background.
they may chime in with a phantom voice here and there. So I hope you all enjoy them when they do. But they're doing the behind the scenes works, all the heavy lifting. We also have a couple other shout outs since we're just getting started. We've got to shout out my lovely wife, Carrie Schultz, for our awesome logo. And the super, she's the talent. I just do the words. And then our wonderful friend who did this amazing theme song for us, the amazing, incomparably talented Destiny Beard. You and the whole Beard clan, we love you all so much. But thank you so much for doing this for us. Destiny's been doing music for me since all the way back to our Hellview Cemetery days.
Which is 80 million years
ago, the haunted attraction I used to run back in the day.
That's another episode we're going to do, right? Haunted attractions.
We will do haunted attractions, and we have a few friends in that field who will be on. We'll be covering haunted attractions as the seasons progress. I mean, we might even be doing some out of season haunts, because Halloween is not just for haunts anymore. I mean, haunts do all the holidays now. So we'll be talking.
That's true.
Henry's Haunted Trail. We'll be talking with Ben from up at Netherworld. We'll be talking with a bunch of people coming up. So they are excited to be a part of this, and we're excited to have them.
Like and subscribe so that you know when that's all coming. Like and subscribe.
Yes. On your podcast, on your podcast platform of note, please like and subscribe, because that's how we get these awesome people to come on and do these things with us. So,
and if you want to hear all the music and stuff, aren't we going to put the show notes? Show notes
will be on the the various platforms, but we'll also be at ErieAdventure.com. So definitely all that fun stuff. So now, without further ado, today I have a story for you.
Oh,
and this one is one of those stories I had known peripherally about it for decades, but of course it is becoming something major this year. But I wanted to get a little ahead of it. Although it is an older story, this goes back to this far ago time called the 80s. Yeah,
The
and it
80s
actually
were
goes
my
back.
decade.
Yeah, it actually goes back before that.
Oh.
But we're going to start our story in 1985. A man who is walking out of his house in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he's just coming out to get his morning paper. And there in his driveway is a dead body.
Well,
How would you
that
like
sounds
that?
like a story. That sounds like a story that I would start. And it would end
Exactly.
well. So,
Okay.
A dead body. I thought this was not going to be about true crime. I guess it is,
Oh,
but
this is the first half is true crime,
ooh,
but then the second half we're going on a great trail. So
okay.
this is just the beginning of the tip of an iceberg here. This is the tipping point.
I like
So,
the tip.
Now, just the tip of the iceberg. So anyway, the man is laying there in the driveway, dead. He has a deployed emergency parachute. Obviously, wasn't enough. His main chute never opened. Okay, the man is dressed in military fatigues. He's got 2 guns on him. He's got a duffel bag that is filled with 40 football-sized packages of cocaine. He also has night vision goggles. He has a knife. This guy was armed to the teeth. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
He also had the keys. He also had the keys in his pocket to a plane. The plane, a few hours later, crashes abandoned into the forest of North Carolina, in the Chattahoochee Forest. Oh my goodness, right?
So let me just clarify something. It took hours after he abandoned the plane for it to crash.
He put it on autopilot and jumped out.
Well, that's a waste of a perfectly good goddamn plane, if you ask me.
Exactly. So they the man, whose name is Andrew Thornton II, and yeah, he did not do well, right? So anyway, the police start investigating. They find the plane. They found the man's cocaine, and so they path backwards. And about 50 miles from where the body is, in the forest, they find more duffel bags full of cocaine up in the trees, and then one duffel bag on the ground that has been ripped open, and next to it is the carcass of a 175-pound bear. This 175-pound bear had eaten 70 pounds of cocaine from the duffel bag.
Is this a Cocaine Bear story?
This is Cocaine Bear.
Because there's a movie coming out, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love this. I'm loving this. I wish I had popcorn right now. I'd be eating it and making a lot of noise inappropriately on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, no. Get your popcorn out, because this is the twists and turns of this.
Wow. I
goodness.
have to say that I often wondered about Cocaine Bear, but never got kind of into it, so to speak. Yeah. So I'm riveted. Dead body. One of my favorite things in the world.
So yeah,
and
so
back up there. Let's do this.
Okay, so obviously the man was a drug smuggler, but let's talk about Andrew Thornton, shall we? Because this man's life is pretty crazy. Born in 1943 in Lexington, Kentucky, grew up with the Thornton family, which is a thoroughbred horse farm. And they had $1 million horses. These were some of the best of the best. So this is money family in early days of Lexington. So early 1900s. And so he had no need for money. He was well-to-do. He grows up, goes to college. It's not for him. Joins the Army. Goes and becomes military. Becomes a paramilitary guy. Because, hey, he learns how to be a paratrooper. He learns how to do all these things, learns how to fly, small craft, but retires from the Army very quickly, doesn't stay in it long, and tries to go back to work on the horse farm with the folks. Isn't for him. This guy likes danger. This guy really likes to live on the edge. So what does he become? A police officer. And he starts really, becoming this maverick cop. In fact, his ex-partner called him a Starsky and Hutch type. So I'll tell you, this is the 70s. Where he didn't play by the rules and all this. And he helps found Lexington, Kentucky's narcotics division.
Wow.
Of police. And he's one of the guys on the ground building that organization. And how crazy is that, right?
That's
this guy,
nuts.
Military to that. And then, like I said, he's got money still, though. He's got family money. So he starts going back to school at night to get his law degree. Okay.
Oh, wow. I already love this story because we have a military cop lawyer, and where he ends up, keep going. I'm riveted.
All right. So he goes back to get his law degree, but he never actually practices law. He gets hired by a buddy of his to be in his law firm, is when he quits being a cop and starts working with this guy. Now, this buddy of his, though, who runs this law firm, runs a law firm out of Fresno, California, and happens to have a branch in Lexington, Kentucky. And kind of an odd branch, right? Kind of an odd stretch there. He also has a branch down in Miami.
Well, this is all making a little sense now, but continue.
So anyway, you can follow the trail, as it were. So the turns out the buddy's connection is the Chagua family, the Chagua brothers, which were big cocaine smugglers in the early days of California. They were the power that brought cocaine and marijuana into California back in the 70s. Now,
okay.
So what happens is our good boy Andrew there winds up being arrested in a hotel in Fresno, California. Okay? Because the maids said they smelled devil's lettuce coming out of his room, right? Smelled the marijuana.
Are we talking about the marijuana?
The marijuana, yes. So they smell that coming out of his room. So they go and investigate his room. Now, in the room, 1970s, right? So this is late 70s, actually, very late 70s. They go into his room. What do they find? All right. In Andrew's room, they find 40 pounds of marijuana. They find some chemical concoctions that they can't identify. They find 3 passports with various names for him. Okay. They find several $1,000s, and they find tons of guns. Tons of guns. That's literally the article says, tons of guns. I'm like, is that weight or is that, it's kind of metaphoric, but
you know what? So. I always, you hear these things and you got to wonder what the perspective is on the person writing the article, because there's only so much room in a hotel room, and there's only so much stuff you could take in there before it would red flag the people you're walking past. If you walked like literally tons of guns, people would be going, what is he taking all those crates to his room? So I love that the reporter said tons, and it was probably like 5.
Yeah.
But
now,
anyway.
Now there are various, this became a famous case. This is most famously was studied by a Washington Post author who later went on to write the book, The Bluegrass Conspiracy, which is also begging to be made into a movie or a Netflix series, because again, it's crazy. The Chagua brothers, they were the guys who hired, well, we'll get to them because they play an important part of this. So we're bunny trailing. But anyway, all right, so you're arrested for all this stuff. He says, oh, I'm working for the CIA. And that's this book. He pulls out his little notebook. And this is the reason I have all this stuff. And his notebook has names and phone numbers and addresses and project code names, including one called Project Bluefin, and which was notorious at the time. And they think this guy, well, he's basically saying that I'm a double agent. I'm working for the bad guys to bring them down. That's why I had to leave the police department, because I'm actually secretly working for the DEA and the CIA on this to bring down a cartel.
Oh,
So of course, an investigation gets launched. And of course, it's all BS. Nobody says this is real. So
I appreciate they investigated that, because in a lot of movies back in the day, you would just take the word of the person.
they would take the word of the guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're like, all right, you said CIA. Well, let's talk to the CIA. Well, okay, so let's say you and I in the 1970s had this hotel room filled with all this stuff. How much time do you think we would be put away for?
Well, it makes me wonder when the Drug Enforcement Agency went in, because
They started about 81.
80. See, they didn't take these things as serious back then. That's look at me remembering crime stuff. I don't think they took it seriously. I give him 120 days.
Okay. Well, he got 6 months in a minimum security prison in Lexington.
What? I want points. How much is 120 days? Is that 4 months? Wait.
That's 3 months. Yeah, that's 4 months. So yeah,
it's
you just got a little bit more.
So I was close.
Yep. Plus, rich white guy, so that made all the difference. Anyway, so one of the reasons people think that he got out as quick as he did was not just because they hadn't really done it that heavy yet. They thought he could lead them to the bigger fish. And they were trying to find an organization that was codenamed The Company. And it was The Company, which was supposedly ex-law enforcement dealing with cartels back in South America that were smuggling cocaine and drugs into America.
Okay.
Now, our boy Andrew had been flying from Colombia to Fresno to Lexington to Miami, and he was making a route. And that's what he was doing, was he was smuggling all the things. But now he swears during all of this that he has done only for the good of the United States. And he's convinced World War III is going to happen. He's a prepper. He's bought his own farm. He's filled it with concertina wire, and they were surveilling it in the early 80s because they were convinced he was training guerrilla warriors on his property.
Like you do.
Yep. Now, while he's about to go to trial for his stuff, he gets shot walking out of a building 3 times in the chest, and is there on the ground. But he's wearing a bulletproof vest, so he survives. And now everybody's like, oh my goodness, he really is in danger from these cartels. Well, turns out he actually set it up himself to try to get leniency from the judge, to show that he would be dead in prison. So how crazy is that?
He's got himself shot.
He hired somebody to shoot himself. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. I'm going to give you leniency for that, but put you in one of the padded rooms that we have available for you, because hello, crazy person.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then the fun continues. Okay. So the man who shot him, okay, this is a name that I don't think you expected this story to bring up, right? So we're talking Cocaine Bear here. This is the first big Hollywood tie, right? The man who shot him was Woody Harrelson's dad.
No.
Yes.
Oh my effing God.
Now, Charles Harrelson is a well-known hired assassin.
Yeah.
He famously was convicted for killing the first federal judge in the 20th century, because it was a frequent occurrence in the 19th century. but
not in the 20th. In the 20th, we pulled that back. Wow. So
Yeah.
he hired Woody Harrelson's dad to shoot him. Okay.
To shoot him.
Go big or go home, I guess,
I
right?
guess, right? So anyway, poor Andrew, this is his life. He then they seem to lose track of him, right? They were supposed to be following him to try to bring these other guys down. Obviously, they fail miserably. They follow him till 85. This is from 81 to 85. They were tracking him like a hawk, supposedly, but obviously more and more stuff was coming in. He was doing more and more things. And eventually that's when we find him at the ground, at this guy's driveway. So people question.
Did the article say where he was in the military? Like, was he just
he was trying to be an airborne ranger.
Oh, so he had a little bit of the how to hide from people thing going for him.
Yeah. So he had it going. One of the things he was doing as a cop was he was arresting people who protested the Vietnam War, and he seemed to take relish in that.
Oh,
so he was definitely, hey, yeah, I was a soldier. I don't want you protesting me and stuff. Now, there were some notes that he did have some swastikas that he liked to wear. So I'm like, dude, you were born during World War II. I mean, this is,
Well, but is there confirmation on it? Because he seems like a prepper, and he seems like he definitely had some ideals. And I'm not deflating
anti-communist,
but
he was anti-communist, and so he was just really heavy into that. And he thought the Nazis were the ultimate anti-communists. So that's the only thing I've seen in a couple interviews about him. That
obviously didn't research the Nazis.
Obviously, limited research available in the 70s and 80s before the internets and before all the History Channel documentaries. So
still, but okay, he gets an F. F for
definitely.
study.
That's where all semblance of liking the guy goes out the window, right?
Yeah. Now, didn't like him to begin with. Now, super don't like him. Okay.
So now the question is, why the plane crash? Right.
Yes.
Now, there was supposedly another man on the plane with him. They're not sure. It's not like they kept flight logs, right? This is a covert drug smuggling operation.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy who was his quote partner in all this winds up dying 2 weeks later because he got his plane was basically sabotaged, where he was during his day job, with 16 people who were paratrooping, he was teaching people how to go skydiving, and his plane with those 16 people gets sabotaged and crashes. So,
oh my God, so 16 people lost their life.
16 people
and this
lost
was his
their
partner?
This was his partner.
Oh.
So 2 weeks after his plane, where he winds up on the driveway. So the rumor is that this guy also jumped out too, and then was being held accountable for holding all the drugs from the Chagua clan, and that they dumped out of the plane because obviously something happened. They dropped all their cargo, and so they estimate a couple $100 million, like $500 million in cocaine and marijuana. So
wow.
Right. Okay. So that's how Andrew, the life of Andrew Thornton II. A life, I would say, lived to the edge.
So this is how we have a very well-equipped body on the driveway, minus the fact that his parachute didn't open. And it sounds like he was carrying way too much weight. I'm not a parachuting expert. Maybe one of our guests can chime in about this, but it occurs to me that if you're going to jump out of a plane, it's one thing if you're trying to save another human, but if you're going to have like 4 humans worth of cocaine on you, your parachute, regardless of deployment, probably won't work.
That is one of the theories of his death, was he had all that equipment on him, and and he was over prepared, so all that weight and jumping from an unknown height. But he also was like one of those guys who liked to wait till the last minute to pull the cord because he lived on the edge and all that. And, he also packed his own chutes and didn't trust anybody else to do it. So, there's a lot of things that could have happened.
And it sounds like it. Okay.
But
we're back.
That's the tip of the iceberg. And I think we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to tell the story of Cocaine Bear, because just because he was found with a bunch of cocaine, there is so much to this story, and you guys are going to love it. So.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. We are going to have Woody Harrelson. We'll be right back with Eerie Adventure. We are back to talk about Cocaine Bear. Let's hear about it.
Yes.
We have a dead body. So exciting.
So we had the body, and we've got 17 more bodies if you count the guy on the plane. So, and then who knows how many people, the company, what happens is the reason they kept him loose was they were hoping he would, go up the food chain, to bigger guys in the company. But there were a bunch of revenge deaths that occurred all over the United States. People who testified against him. The prosecutor of him was found dead in a swamp in Tampa. The man who turned evidence and said, oh, the reason he was doing all this was he was actually trying to steal guns from a government facility in California. That was what all the money and the drugs were financing, was to steal more weapons. And they actually had also hired a minesweeper and were commissioning it to be a drug smuggling truck, a drug smuggling boat. And all this, the guy who turned evidence on him in his trial wound up with a slit throat in Miami.
Okay,
So,
wait a minute. All these people died, and he only did 6 months. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yes, this guy who
did
did
a
6 months.
whopping 6 months and then killed all these people.
These people are dying right and left all around him. So people are saying that, again, this is Woody Harrelson's dad.
Well,
this
he
is his
engineered the death of all these people for 6 months of jail time.
Yes.
After being caught with all this stuff in his room.
In his room, yep.
Wow, the balls on this dude at this point in time.
One of the guys was killed. The guy in Tampa had been killed with a poison made out of ether. So he's like tripping balls as he dies. I mean, this is crazy. And that was some of the stuff they found in Andrew's apartment, or in his compound, when his apartment in his compound, that when they went after he died and they searched it, they found that poison in there. So
you've gotta almost wonder too if he did that, and because he seems like, and I don't even know that much about him, but he strikes me as the type of person that would want to see the look on the person's face as he's killing them. I mean, you're talking about Woody Harrelson's dad having committed these murders, right? Which has no reflection on Woody Harrelson, because we love Woody Harrelson.
Hey.
But and you can't always pick your family, as we all know, and I'm sure we'll come up on many of these podcasts. But but the fact of the matter is, this guy really strikes me sort of egomaniac, that he thinks that I don't know. I'm just reading into it, but I believe he would want to look at the person as they're dying to prove to them that he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and there, like I said, that's just, again, so now with all that said, he's gone, he's dead, good riddance, right? But now we have the story of the bear, right? Little Pablo Escobar, he's out wandering in the woods, and he finds this duffel bag.
What did he just call him?
Pablo Escobar, that's what he is named.
Pablo Escobar, like the Mexican
like Pablo Escobar, the head of the drug lords. That's his name. He has been dubbed this. So, little Pablo, isn't that the best name ever for a bear?
Brilliant, whoever did that.
All right, so he's out there and he's wandering the woods, and he finds these duffel bags raining from the sky. Doesn't know what they are. Gets into one, eats it. Oh my God, this is amazing. It makes him feel incredible. So he eats more. So he winds up eating 70 pounds of cocaine.
Wait, what kind of bear is it?
It is a black bear.
That's not a very big bear to eat.
No, only 175 pounds.
He ate half of his body weight.
His stomach was bursting with it. So the doctor, when they do the autopsy on the bear, realizes that his stomach is literally full of cocaine. And so the joke was, for about 5 minutes, he was the ultimate apex predator on the planet. So before he OD'd.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. I would.
He literally
Hold on, we
lived.
gotta-
Oh,
let's just 70 pounds. Like that's a child. Like how else do you have to be as a child to be 70 pounds? Like
probably
is that
around
like a
10 or
10-year-old?
10 or 11. Yeah, I would say.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I think that
Like
was my weight around that time. Although I was a fat kid, so I don't know. So I was the chubby nerdy kid. I can't imagine what would happen to me when I grew up. So
Yeah, no, well now you're a spelt action figure. So if anybody
But-
wants to look you up on the
Yeah.
con circuit, they can
Oh my
see
God.
the
So,
muscles that it's you.
they're gonna Google me and go, really?
Is that him?
But anyway, the bear, right? So the thing is, the guy did the autopsy on him, right? Forestry Service guy. He's like, wow, this bear is in great shape though, because it didn't die from being hit by a car, didn't die from anything like that. We need to have this thing stuffed. So they got it stuffed and they put it at the Educational Research Center for the Chattahoochee Forest because it was like a perfect specimen of a bear, except for the fact that, he died of what he died of. He was still very healthy and intact. So perfect bear carcass, right?
I
So
wonder
it's-
how much of that cocaine that was in his stomach was still good. Do you think some of the guys
She's
took it?
probably not much. Stomach acid does its thing, man. So
I
it
know,
is
but
a
it's
bear.
70
They store their
pounds.
food to slow down, so they do slow down their digestive tracts. So maybe, I don't know. So
I'm just wondering if anybody took advantage of bear cocaine. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think I mean, it
wow.
was the 80s and
It was the 80s, it was mid 80s at this point. Yep.
things
So,
that no
oh
one
my
would
gosh.
do out loud. Bear cocaine.
Well, anyway, the poor bear, he's stuffed. He's put in the Chattahoochee National Forest Education Center for years until there's a threat of a forest fire. And they have to take everything away. And then they take it and they put it in storage to keep it safe, right? Keep it secret,
Okay.
keep it safe, right?
Very Lord of the Rings, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Ready for the next plot twist?
Well, so let me just make sure so I'm caught up with everybody else.
Yeah.
We have the dead body. They go in. Who found the bear?
The bear, the Park Services that was also with the FBI and the CIA who were investigating the drugs. They were following the trail of the plane, trying to calculate where it went, and that's when they found over 50 miles from where the body was is where they found the drugs.
Okay, so they find the crashed plane. They find all the drugs. They find the bear.
They found
They-
the body. Yeah.
They autopsy the bear, and then the bear is taxidermied. I love that this is decided to be an educational thing. I just want to
Yes.
I want to know who went, you know what? This would be educational as
Yes.
to warn others of what happens if you give a bear cocaine. Like, I just don't know the education that goes with that. I know it's fairly healthy, but I just want to know the thought process of this is going to be educational for somebody.
So the bear is in a storage shed,
Okay,
Right.
storage. Got
waiting
it.
waiting out the fire, and then the storage shed gets robbed, and he is kidnapped. The bear, Pablo
bear is-
Escobar, gets kidnapped from his storage shed, escaping a wildfire.
Oh my gosh. That takes a lot of effort. This isn't a tiny thing to steal.
It's a
I mean-
175-pound bear, but I guess he's a lot less weight, but still, it's
But
not
he's got to be
exactly-
mounted to something. This is
Yep,
not
yep.
like something you could throw in the back of your car.
Yep. So the storage shed is robbed,
Okay.
right? And they're like, "Oh, is this the end of Pablo Escobar?" No. He winds up in a pawn shop in Knoxville, Tennessee,
How much later from when it was
about
robbed?
a year later after the theft.
Okay, so somebody has this bear an entire year, and
Yes.
then it's like, you know
And
what?
then he's pawned.
I need some money. Let's
So
pawn
once
the
he
bear.
gets to the pawn shop calls a friend of theirs, a man named Waylon Jennings.
Like the Waylon Jennings?
The Waylon Jennings, country music legend, Waylon Jennings, just the good old boys.
Oh my, okay, we're Dukes
Dukes
of
of
Hazzard. This
Hazzard,
bear.
the original Highwayman, this guy. So Waylon goes, I gotta have this. And so he buys it and gives it to a friend of his.
Okay.
Now, the friend of his is the guy who lives in Vegas, who shows the entertainers how to have a good time, right? He's known for, he has a couple mansions in Vegas that when you are out doing your residency in Vegas and you want to have a good time in Vegas in the 80s, you went and saw this guy. So,
Okay.
and this guy would let you stay in one of his mansions. And one of his mansions was Kentucky themed. So of course it's like of course in Vegas you would want a Kentucky themed mansion. Why not? And so it was like a rustic cabin setting. So he's got Pablo Escobar in there. Now, according to the pawn shop, they didn't know that this was Cocaine Bear, that this was just some bear that got sent to them.
You gotta wonder if there was labeling on whatever stand he was on.
According to Waylon Jennings, though, they told him immediately, "Hey, this is the Cocaine Bear you want." Andrew Thornton.
I like
the
the
guy
talk to the police is like, I have no idea who this is. Hey, by the way, I have Cocaine Bear.
I have Cocaine Bear. And it's Andrew Thornton's Cocaine Bear, the one that died with Andrew. Because what happens is that guy who is the guy who knows how to make people have a good time was one of Andrew Thornton's old partners. So,
wow.
So that's why having that bear, oh my gosh, it's
comes
tied.
full circle.
Yep. So the bear stays in Vegas for a number of years. Waylon passes. This guy finally passes. And then they auction off his mansions because he has no relatives. And
at no point in time does anybody go,
that
is there like a reward out for Cocaine Bear from?
No, not at this point. It's
okay.
It was thought lost to history, right?
Oh,
they thought it was lost. Yeah, they just thought it was gone. You know, who's gonna sell a bear? From a storage shed. They were more concerned about some of the Indian artifacts and other things that were in there that they did recover most of those. So,
well, I guess we're like, I guess we don't need that bear back. It's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, and no one really knew about this bear being in this guy's custody for forever. It's not like he was advertising. It wasn't like a public place either. You had to be a big high-end celebrity who was into drugs to even see this thing.
You gotta know people. I know that was a terrible accent. When to hold them. I don't even know what I was doing there.
Yeah. So then the bear, has had a good life in this mansion, I assume, seeing who knows what at those parties. And then do you
wonder how many people had sex on the bear? Because
gotta wonder.
Somebody had to have had sex on that bear.
Somebody did cocaine off the bear's back. Come on. It's although cleaning a bear is pretty, I would assume, not an easy thing. So I can, but I guess the maids would be paid plenty, to keep it quiet and whatever else they saw there. But anyway, so Cocaine Bear lived a life beyond his life as a party animal too.
I see that.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it was auctioned.
Okay.
And an elderly Chinese man was the only bidder on Escobar. And he got him for the stately sum of $200 in the 1990s. Yeah, late 1990s.
Do we know how much he was pawned for?
We do not know. We do not know.
I'm just wondering about the devaluation.
The devaluation of the bear.
Because he technically was worth 70 pounds of cocaine at
one point.
He
must have been a couple hundred, at least $1 million there.
Yeah.
And now,
and now he's down to $200. This is a sad story. A sad tale. When you do
cocaine. Has a Chinese medicine restaurant. He brings the bear home, Chinese restaurant, sorry, Chinese medicine, not restaurant, sorry. He owns a Chinese restaurant. He also owns a Chinese medicine shop.
Okay.
And he brings the bear home, and his wife says it scares her too much. They has to take it to one of the places. So he takes it to the shop. And it becomes the shop's mascot at the Chinese shop.
Oh, that's poetic in a very weird way. Okay.
Now we come to our Eerie Adventure portion of the show. This is where you can actually go.
We're in our Eerie Adventure.
Yes, that's the tail. That's the tail portion of the show. So now the adventure portion goes, well, I would like to see Cocaine Bear now that, what happened to him, the last stage of his journey. Well, two gentlemen who own a company in Kentucky called Kentucky for Kentucky, or KY for KY, decide they want to find out what happened to Cocaine Bear. They read the Bluegrass Conspiracy. They have a bunch of eclectic stuff in this shop of theirs. They opened the Fun Mall. It's called the KY for KY Fun Mall. And they
that sounds like a different kind of fun. I wonder if
yeah,
they
exactly. It's very pride
it,
friendly.
Yeah.
But which is why we love this shop. And they dug into this to figure out what happened to the bears. They found this bunny trail. They were the ones who figured out, went to Waylon Jennings, went to this guy, went to this guy. All this is long after the Bluegrass Conspiracy stories are long gone. Andrew has been dead since the 80s. But these guys have been chasing it down. They finally find the widow of the poor elderly Chinese man.
Okay.
And he had died. And she said, please take the bear. All it will cost you is your shipping.
So, oh, wow.
So
now he's worth nothing.
Nothing. The shipping costs. So they bring him to their shop where he is still there today. It is in the heart of Lexington, back where Andrew Thornton II was born. It has come full circle. The bear is now in Kentucky, and he is on display in the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall. And you too can get your picture with Pablo Escobar, where there is a wonderful little plaque mounted next to him. You said, a good mounting, and
a good mounting.
Yep. Pablo Escobar, don't do drugs or you'll wind up stuffed like Pablo.
Wow.
The ultimate apex predator. So
that is like so many levels of ridiculous. I think we could have probably gone on for hours about this weird journey with this bear and what this guy did. Wow. No. So I'm assuming, Mark,
yes,
that you've gone to see Mr. Cocaine Bear, knowing
yes,
that you know about the plaque. So
yes.
when did you go see Cocaine Bear?
We went and saw him right before, it was right after Thanksgiving. We were up there for CryptidCon in Lexington, and everybody was saying, you got to go see Cocaine Bear. You got to go see Cocaine Bear. And I had heard about him for a long time, but I'd never actually been. So went to see him. Now, of course, the day we get there is the day the movie trailer drops.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, that's convenient for us.
Yes. So Elizabeth Banks has decided to make her directorial debut.
Well, it's not debut.
Oh,
she did Pitch Perfect.
She did Pitch Perfect. So her next directorial opus is Cocaine Bear, starring the late great Ray Liotta. I can only hope he's playing Woody Harrelson's dad, Charlie Harrelson. But I don't. I
hope he is the lead investigator on this case. Actually,
that would be great.
That would be more screen time.
That would be more screen time. Would be fun. But I have no idea how they're going to play it. It looks comedy, and of course, the movie trailer is 2 minutes of this giant killer bear, attacking all the things, and it looks like a wild comedy. I am all in. And
I agree. We will have to do the premiere and then do a follow-up.
I'll have to do a follow-up with the full movie review and everything.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in March of 2023. Oh my God, it just so anyway, we're there that day, and of course the place is packed. And they were like, yeah, this, we're selling out of merch super quick. But you can go to their website and order plenty of merch. But I highly recommend, if you're anywhere within a few hours of Lexington, Kentucky, make your drive there. The shop is amazing. There's plenty to see. This is, again, just one of the many things they have there. It's man, I just can't praise it enough. It's they have wonderful shirts that they have a lot of Kentucky themed ornaments for Christmas trees at the time. So they were little turkey legs or chicken legs and chicken wings, Christmas lights. I was like, yeah, that's gold. And then they had signs for Kentucky Fried Chicken that were rainbow signs. There was a lot of good stuff there. So
It sounds amazing. So I think, listeners out there, if you happen to go see, Cocaine Bear, you should send us your photos. We would love
yes,
to see your photos. And I mean, if you held up a little thing that said, I heard about you on Eerie Adventure, I mean, we wouldn't
yeah,
mind that. We might even
yes,
share it on social media.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if
feel
you
free to
know
tag us. Yeah.
anything about Cocaine Bear, you guys should share it with us, because
Yeah, like
this,
if you've gone down this bunny trail, the Bluegrass Conspiracy, and you found some of these other characters from history that are involved in this, this, I mean, literally there are 3 books about this, and you can just go deep dive into each one. Some of them, go all into the Chagua, conspiracy, the whole bit about the company. Of course, James Patterson even uses the company as his big cartel in several of his works, as that's the power behind the power. And how high was Andrew Thornton in this organization? We don't know. That's he's dead on a driveway. He went pancake. So,
well, I mean, it's terrible, all the lives that were lost
yes,
during this adventure, and not taking away from any of that and the families who lost people due to that. But I mean, how ridiculous of a story is it that what he did managed to create this sort of myth legend? It's not even a
yes,
myth, it's a real person.
it's a
Like,
real thing. Yeah.
it's not even a cryptid. What's the best
No.
part is Cocaine Bear is not a cryptid.
No, he is not. He is not, he is not Hogzilla. He is not, the Meth Gator, but he's up there with those, and those are future episodes.
I was gonna say, Hogzilla and Meth Gator, we definitely have to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. We
Yeah.
will be talking all these fun things eventually, and we will be getting experts on to discuss some of these. But
There's a Meth Gator expert.
there is a Meth Gator expert.
I know there is.
Yeah.
I just
yeah. Oh wait, just wait. So he's a character in himself. But anyway, yeah. So the moral of the story, gang: don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay.
okay.
You will end up
Well,
stuck.
I think we should revise the moral of the story, which is do not do 70 pounds. Don't eat 70 pounds of cocaine. That is probably a bad thing.
Yeah. I think, that's definitely, if your stomach is only 70 pounds and you have filled it with a controlled substance, there might be issues. So, please contact your doctor, immediately.
We're going to not give medical advice on this show for what you should. However, if you happen to be a part of witnessing a plane crash full of drugs and there's wildlife about, leave, just go. Just
my
go.
God.
It doesn't turn out well.
This is not going to end well for you. So, and now let's, we go back with all this. We've got all this crazy story and all this stuff. There are still people who were involved in this. Now, Andrew was married for a couple years.
Oh, really?
His wife, he supported her even after their divorce. He just was not the marrying kind. He did not want to be tied down. But his wife, I can't find a single bad thing she ever said about him. Just that, the worst thing was he felt like he was not needed as a husband. And so he needed to do more on the streets. And that was during his police years. And all of his partners, like I said, they all called him like he was the bad cop when the good cop, bad cop stuff came to shove. But they all said he was a good guy. Well,
other than being a Nazi sympathizer, I suppose.
He was living this double life. And that's what I think the wife just, was keeping him from living this life on the edge that he needed. And I think, it's pretty crazy when you're hanging out with hitmen and, and gun smugglers and drug smugglers, and you're, flying secret flights in and out of South America. You can only, being tied down. That's just,
And I'm not going to be sad that he's a pancake. I'm just throwing that
out.
I'm
no,
not
definitely
sad
not.
he's a pancake.
And again, there are lots of theories about how he died. Did the partner kill him, or were they the reason the partner got killed 2 weeks later? Because, was that a cover up, or was it a revenge killing like these other revenge killings that had happened? And
Well,
the
you know
fact
what?
that these,
Here's the only part that doesn't work for me on all of that. These drug companies would not, under any circumstances, want to lose that much product. So
Oh,
even
yeah.
if his partner, like, I'm just here's
Yeah.
the conspiracy theory true crime part of me goes, there's no way they'd want to lose all that product. So even if they decided to take him out, it would have been done a different way as to not create that particular scenario. Because I mean, we're talking at the time probably millions of dollars, now probably hundreds
yeah.
of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions, yeah, especially, and the money he had on his person, he had thousands of dollars on his person. He had some gold Krugerrands on his person when he died,
Like you do. No
yeah,
wonder
because
he's like
well, he was convinced. Remember, he was convinced that World War III was imminent. So so he was carrying a lot of gold on him because that cash is going to be useless, and it's just wild. But then the bear story, I think what got me on this was, as I'm researching this and I'm learning all this stuff about, I get to the bear, and then, oh, he's dead. That's sad. And then the adventure the corpse of the bear goes on is just as amazing as the life of the crazy guy who caused all this. And then Waylon Jennings. Oh my gosh, how crazy is that?
Just the amount of people that touch the story is so ridiculous, and
yeah. We'll never really know the all the people involved in the parties at the mansion that Bear was at. This is
that if there are pictures of that, I'm just saying.
I'm sure.
We don't have
this
to
would have been
on social media.
This would have been late, early '80s. So cell phones not a thing, but disposable cameras were a thing.
I was going to say, if there's any party pictures, send them our way. We will not share them unless you give us, including, hey guys, if you share stories with us, you can tell us not to use your real name. Please feel free to change the names to protect the innocent or not so innocent. I like both flavors. So very cool.
Yeah. So I think that this was a great story to start with because it just has every twist and turn you can imagine. And like I said, it isn't decrypted, but it is. I mean, it's one of those. Is he urban legend? No, he's real. There is no legend about this except for some of the stuff that's going to be in the movie. But
some things were changed to make it more entertaining.
Interesting. Yeah, but I cannot wait to see how this goes, and I am excited for future adventures.
Episodes. What are we talking about? What's coming up? I'm super excited.
I mean, in the future, we have quite a few lined up, but I believe our next subject is going to be one of those things where we're going to talk about. Well, let's give them a tease. We'll say the theme song to Moonraker. Okay, James Bond, Moonraker, and then we're also going to talk about the Hadron Collider.
Okay.
So we're going very science fiction with this.
Well, I was going to say we're going very science fiction, but I have a feeling we're not really going science fiction.
No. And then we're also going to throw in Fruit Loops.
Okay, Fruit Loops. I enjoy Fruit Loops thoroughly. I feel I'm not going to enjoy them the same way with what we're talking about, but I love this. No, Mark, that was an amazing story. That was so cool.
Well, I'm glad we enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and I can't wait to. We'll be talking all kinds of things. I'm waiting for some stories that you're going to bring us. I'm not going to be the only storyteller here, but we have got, and I can't wait to see what everybody else sends us for episode ideas and things you would like to see. I cannot wait to see where this goes. I think. My goodness, the most important thing, though, is we've got to, once again, thank everybody for listening.
Yes, thank you all for being with us.
Yeah, give it a like, give it a subscribe, share the word. We're in the early days. We'd like to build this thing, into something that you can all be proud of. And we
want you guys to come on this adventure with us because we're going to get seriously weird, folks. We get
we are going to delve into all the high strangeness. That's going to be our specialty here. And just when you think you've heard it all, there's more. As many plot twists as this one had, there's more coming. But thank you all so much for joining us, and we will thank Callie for producing this wonderful episode and doing all the magic and the post editing that I'm sure edited out all those terrible things that we talked about when we went off on that one whole side trail.
Yeah,
oh my
no,
gosh.
I don't think she's editing it that much. You can cling to that, but I don't think that's happening, my friend.
Okay. As long as she doesn't cut out the bit about Waylon Jennings, that's the important.
I don't think she's cutting anything out. I think
Yeah,
every
as long as they're not, yeah, as long as they're not
ridiculous
cutting
thing that comes out of your mouth is going to be incorporated forever on the interwebs.
You are the best. And then we've got and Destiny's going to play us out here in just a few minutes. So have you got anything you got coming up, Erica, that you want to discuss?
No, I am I'm firmly excited about the fact that I got brand new slippers, but I don't think it's show worthy, but they're very, very comfortable. So I'm going to take us out with put on your cozy slippers and listen to more podcasts from us.
Well, when we are next in person together, I am bringing you your Cocaine Bear
I got a Cocaine Bear shirt. That is
a Cocaine Bear hoodie.
Yep.
So the ultimate party animal is coming for you, and we'll be seeing that at Pensacon shortly. So I cannot wait. So.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be at Pensacon if you want to come up to us and meet the Erie Adventure crew.
Hey, heard the first episode. We love you. Hopefully, a few episodes will be out by then, and that'll be great. So, oh my gosh, we're coming up. I saw the 2-minute warning. So I think we're
2 minutes. Mark, do you have anything exciting besides showing up at Pensacon? Wait, you're also at Mad Monster.
I'm at Mad Monster the week before Pensacon. Then we're also hitting in between the two. So Mad Monster's in North Carolina, and then Pensacon's in Pensacola, Florida. And that week in between is Mardi Gras. But we will not be doing Mardi Gras. We will be avoiding New Orleans. But we will be hitting Mississippi and Alabama, and we'll be hitting Fife, where the Fife UFO incident occurred. And we'll also be doing Pascagoula, Mississippi, which also had a UFO incident. So, and those are for a project that is to be named later. But yeah, we're excited. And the Erie Appalachia audiobook has gone to press from Four Horsemen Publishing and History Press, and it is available on fine audio book places now. So definitely give yourself a download if you want to hear more of me in between episodes and learn about fun things like the bench leg of Gobel Ridge and the Snarly Yow and the Snallygaster and other fun monsters that are fun to pronounce.
Did you just pick all the ones with an S name for that last little bit there?
Just for that last little bit. Yeah, I just talked about Snarly Yow on another podcast, so it was stuck in my head. So
I like it.
But yeah, I could have said Mishu Pishu, but that's a long one. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. We're out of time, gang. Thank you so much, and we will see you.
See you next time. Bye.